Today, we'll be talking about Bold by Peter Diamandis. How to go big, create wealth, and impact the world. Now, he is New York Times best-selling author, the founder of more than 15 high-tech companies. He is the CEO of XPRIZE.org, ex-chairman of the Singularity University, SingularityU.org, a Silicon Valley-based tuition backed by Google, 3D System, and NASA. He is a co-chairman of Planetary Resource Inc. and the co-founder of Human Longevity. Dr. Diamandis attended MIT, where he received his degree in molecular genetics and aerospace engineering, and Harvard Medical School, where he received his MD in 2014. He was named one of the world's 50 greatest leaders by Fortune. All right, today we'll be talking about the Four Horsemen, writing or setting big, bold goal. Why? And also trigger flow. And of course, we're going to be talking about something funny. When I read this, it was pretty interesting. That I learned about 3D printing, and then I learned about Jarvis. You know, Jarvis in the what's it called, Iron Man, where they actually have Jarvis, where it's talking to Tony Stark. Oh yeah, they have that now, right? Because now we have intelligent AI controlling everything that we do. Like it controls the laptop or computer and the search engines and the phone that we have now. Isn't it scary? Dude, it reminds me of like Judgment Day and Terminator. Yo, I feel like Terminator is gonna come here, and the rise of John Connor, right? And then we're going to be talking about how why is it important to create and set bold goals that we can't achieve. Isn't that we can? It is a vision that we're going to do, because in endeavor to bring out the best out of you, you need to go into this psychological state called the flow. And this book talks about the flow, but it's actually talking about technology and how entrepreneurs are going to disrupt and solve problems. Now, it's very interesting how this book goes, because it talks about the Four Horsemen. Now, most people think when I talk about the Four Horsemen, I'm not talking about war. I'm not talking about what's it called, death, right? So, come here, death! I command you. That'd be awesome if I can just control the Four Horsemen now. I know that's most people would say, no, you cannot control the Four Horsemen. Hey, if you watch the Supernatural, oh, that was pretty cool. Supernatural have the Four Horsemen. Now, let me read you where it have what's it called? Content talking about bold mindset, and it's talking about how billionaires don't set small goals, but they set really big goals that it's really it's not impossible to achieve, but the reason why they set that really high is because you will get more. It will make you more productive, and you will bring out more motivation out of you. Now let's talk about this. Here we go. Climbing Mountain Bold is not technically difficult. It's also incredible psychological difficult. Every innovator interviewed for this book emphasized the importance of mental game, arguing that without the right mindset, entrepreneurs have absolutely no chance of success. I couldn't argue more. Attitude's the ballgame. Do you think you can, or you think you can? Well, you're right. Now let me see. Here we go. In the late 1960s, University of Toronto psychologist Gary Latham and University of Maryland psychologist Edward Lockheed discovered that the goal setting is one of the easiest ways to increase motivation and enhance performance. Back then, this was something of a shocking finding. General thinking was that happy workers were productive workers and putting too much stress on employees. By say, impossible goals were considered bad for business, but in dozens and dozens of studies, Latham and Lockheed found that setting goals increased performance and productivity 11 to 25%. That's a boost, quite a boost. If an 8-hour day is a baseline, that's like getting 2 extra hours of working simply by building a mental framework, aka goal, around the activity. But not every goal is the same. We found that if you want the largest increase in motivation and productivity, say, then big goals lead to best outcome. Big goals significantly outperform small goals, medium-sized goals, and vague goals. It comes down to intention and persistence, which are the two of the most important factors in determining performance. Big goals help focus attention and they make us more persistent. The results which much more effective when we work, much more willing to get up and try again when we fail. And I agree with this point because every time I set a high goal, and it sure it's hard at times, but it brings me the motivation to actually reach it. And I try to figure it out, and it'll bring me in a state of flow that it create a where just things just feel I enjoy it because in this book it talks about that we humans are hardwired for challenges. I was like, oh, we are okay, we are. Thanks. Now we're gonna talk about flow. Okay. Okay, here we go. Well, in trying to phrase the secret to Trump, we covered the monthly crew of the mind hack. The motivation was that we explored both goals, value, align both goals, and I can't say that, supercharge of autonomy, mastery, and purpose. On the performance sense, we enhance creativity with a perspective shift of 110x, boost risk taking with rapid iteration and shortening learning cycles with fast feedback. Then to de-risk the whole process, we introduce the rigorous of experimental ecosystem. But there's a larger point here. This crew is not so modern. All of these mind hacks serve an additional function. Not only do they increase motivation and performance, they do double duty as a trigger for the state of consciousness known as flow. Technically, flow is defined as optimal state of consciousness where we feel our best, perform our best. And you probably had some experience with this state. If you are lost in the afternoon to a great conversation or become so involved in a work project, that's also what forgotten to use taste bud experience. We all did. Flow describes these moments of total absorption when we become so focused on the task at hand that everything else falls away. Action and awareness merge. Time flies. Self vanish. All aspects of performance, mental and physical, go through the roof. We call this experience flow because that's the sensation core forwarded in the state. Every action, each decision leads effortlessly, fluently, seamless to the next. It's high speed performing. It's being swept away, being a river of ultimate performance. And that's why most people set these is to enhance our ability to create the flow, to create the vibration within us. As we grow, as we set these high, intense goals, we have to it make us into the flow and also increase our vibration more. Now, most people say, "Oh, I just came in and he's talking about vibration. What the heck is that?" Well, we all humans have vibration within us. When we set small goals, we're inherently using that force within us that's so potent and powerful, and we attract just similar vibration with us, and we cannot attract some bigger players into our life based upon how our frequency is dialed. And as we set really bigger goals, you enhance your vibration and you dial it in and you attract bigger players into your life to enhance the quality of your life. Make sense? And then let's talk about what's it called? It's finance. Now, of course, when we watch, oh, damn it, crap. All right, let's talk about this. When we come to understand the state of flow and how to set really bigger goals, it increases the likelihood that you will achieve it. But in setting small goals, you are likely to achieve it, but you won't be fulfilled. You will be disappointed, more than most. Because think about it, if you're setting really big goals, you're fulfilling what the universal has in store for you. Meaning that since Bob Proctor always talk about creation, we're here to create. Meaning we're here to sculpt, we're here to mold our best version of ourselves. As we set really big goals, we endeavor to live our fullest self. And as we're enhancing this ability, we develop new awareness, new skills, new power, new increasing vibration to attract the circumstances, the event, the right people into our life based upon how we set. Um, because the thing is, when we set a small goal, because it's the ideas and the limitations that we have within us. Those people who have set really high goals is that they are visionary and they think outside of these limitations. They don't think in limitation. Most people think in limitation, therefore they don't achieve much. I mean, think about it. If I were to set really small goals, I wouldn't be able to get the interview. It's really, if I would just to, let's say, if I create videos and stuff like that, I would be able to, sure, I will probably attract interviews and people to come. But when you're starting, then it will be a little bit impossible to do that. But my vision has grown over the years as I learn and understand that there's when it comes to setting really big highest goals is developing the inner awareness and the inner skills that we need to because they have physical skills and mental or cognitive skills that we have and that we need to train them and harness these powers. Now I want you to read this. Oh wow, it's just right here. Huh. In the early days of Iron, so it'll be in the early days of Iron Man, director John Van Veer had a possible problem. His main protagonist, billionaire genius superhero Tony Stark, was larger than life, too much larger than life. I had no idea how to make him seem real. Farrell told Tom. Then Robert Downey Jr. said, "We need to sit down with Elon Musk." He was right. While Musk has yet to fabricate an Iron Man suit, he has revolutionized industries and built four multi-billion dollar companies: PayPal, banking, SpaceX, aerospace defense, Tesla Motors, automotive, and Solar City power generation. As you might expect with this kind of resume, his passion for entrepreneurship emerged early. So yeah, Tony Stark talked to what's his name? Elon Musk. Actually, Elon Musk was in the Iron Man 2. Mr. Musk. Billionaire wisdom, thinking scale. Exceptional technology, added physical leverage. Psychological tools provide a mental edge. The combination allows entrepreneurs to become true force for disruption. And then he's talking about Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, and Larry Page. I'm gonna find this. This I find interesting. Jeff Bezos was a busy man. About 5 years ago, when I emailed him to set up a breakfast meeting, his boss came back. "Peter, I'm so busy. I'm trying to optimize my toothbrushing time, and there is a reason he's so hurried. That's all wrong. The same reason Eric Smith lists Amazon alongside Google, Apple, and Facebook. One of the four horsemen of technology. Yeah, these Amazon is pretty scary. It's wiping out a lot of companies. Really, like we never see in Circuit City anymore. We don't see a lot of companies are disappearing because of Amazon, and it's disrupting a lot of because what happened is bricks and mortars. Now everything is online based, right? Where people using doing online marketing and online seminars and online webinars, and people coming on, and there's really because there's online videos now. Online, there's a lot of online teaching. As I'm doing book reviews, is online. Now, as these technology keep disrupting the old way that we're doing, what happened is people are what's that? I can't remember. Not are they're they are living in a world that no longer exists. Sooner or later, they have to come to realize all the old ways that they've been doing will no longer work. So we have to be able to adapt our thinking to the degree because technologies are taking over. It's been taking over, and now it's going to take over with AI and not terminate it. And but we can use it either for good or for bad or for evil. We can use technology to reach heights. We can reach people in one-on-one situation. We can like think about it. If we use Twitter and Instagram, we're dealing with one-to-one conversation, right? And I think that these technology allow us to be able to do our dreams, talk to and interview authors or whatever that may be, or expert, and it allow us to expand our capacity to reach people. Whether you think that setting goals high will lead you to failure and disappointment, it's up to you. But in my endeavor to understand my consciousness and my awareness in the state of flow, I understood that there are times that are difficult, but I like the challenge. And the book said that we are wired to for challenge, and I do like challenge. It make me happy. It made me grow and make my um, my thinking process expand tenfold, and because I see something uh, uh, that I never seen in myself before. So that's pretty much it. That I want you to expand your thinking tenfold. I want you to set goals that make you trigger that flow state to be able to push and to create, to enhance, and so you can get the best outcome that you want for you. Because the day that you set low goal, it is not in aiming high that you will miss. It is in aiming too low and you will hit. And once you hit, you will never know your truest potential. You will never know that you can reach heights. Uh, what you're trying to do in the world. Whether you're creating a video, podcast, audio, whatever that is, do the best you can and create that state of flow that you enjoy, and you it make you more productive, make you more to motivate to create videos like today. Since I have a goal to reach people and expand, the awareness of the law of attraction and special education, then I'm going out of my comfort zone. That's what inherently you have to do, because setting bold and uh, uh, big goals are is creating that state of flow where you're because in order to create that state of flow, you have to get uncomfortable. That means you have to get out of your comfort zone, right? Too many people are in the comfort zone. That's why they never experience. They have, but they never experience true state of flow, that psychological trigger of flow. Subscribe to my channel, like my video, because I'll be doing book reviews and somewhat interviews, and then I'll keep posting videos. And I hope that you enjoy. But remember, everything we do, we must do the best and give our best. Show up with the things that we are larger than life. Because when we do it, things just gravitate towards us as a gravitational pull.